Hey y'all, Catherine here with the Paleo Schmaley Food Company, and today I want to talk about getting what you want and why are you not getting what you want and what's holding you back. And what is holding you back, and I am 100% sure about this, is yourself, not outside circumstances, not things you can't control. It's you, because hurdles keep getting thrown your way and you don't find creative solutions around them. The people who do are getting what they want. And I have plenty of examples in my own life of when I got exactly what I wanted creatively. And I'm trying to discuss this matter, even to open it up to myself a little bit more so I can also get the things that I want that I haven't gotten yet, and using the things I did get as an example of what worked. Okay. The first example is my Marauder. I have always wanted a Mercury Marauder. It is a special edition car. There were 11,052 Mercury Marauders made. I believe that number is pretty close to correct. In 2003 and 2004, this special edition souped up Mercury Marauder looked like a police interceptor. The police interceptors, the Crown Victorias at the time the car was made, averaged about 293 horsepower, and the Mercury Marauder was a 303 at stock. It didn't have a lot of bells and whistles, and it was just all performance. It had the sleek black leather interior. I got to drive a brand new one, and that was it for me. When I drove that brand new car, nothing else mattered. And so if you know me, you know that I kept buying Grand Marquis to kind of make up for the fact that I really couldn't afford a Marauder. But I really wanted one, and now it's at the point where they're almost the same cost as they were new, because they're so special edition and hard to find in good condition, that everybody told me I was never going to get one. And I would have to buy a mint condition one between $20,000 and $30,000. And why would you buy an old car for $20,000 and $30,000? And I just lots of no's, lots of this is never going to happen for you. And because I spent a lot of time talking about it and a lot of time saying I still want one anyway, and a lot of time telling people, I don't care what you say, I want one anyway, it did happen. And it happened because my dad wanted to sell his. We both have kind of a Marauder obsession, because it had some problems. And I just happen to have somebody in my life that can help me fix these problems. And I also don't really care a lot about some of the cosmetic things that maybe other people would care about. So I got a deal. And I also got the daughter discount. Okay. But it's not because my father had this car and he was selling this car that I got the car. It's not. It's because that I continually talked about it. Continuously talked about this. Continuously brought it up. I always expressed that I wanted one, and not just to my dad. It was just constantly talking about it, constantly thinking about it, always looking online for one, messaging people on Craigslist and asking how much they wanted, what's the mileage, knowing I couldn't afford it at the time. I didn't have the money, but I managed to get a really low interest rate cash loan so that I could buy it. And then I'm almost paid off this loan. Okay. Because it's such a low interest rate that I'm able to put a little bit more here and there on it. And then I sold my other car. And then I took that money from my other car and I put it towards the loan. And I'm almost paid off of that loan. And when I say loan, I spent less than $5,000 on this car. So the impossible thing that you weren't going to get, that was too much money, that would never happen unless you did this, this, and this. None of those things occurred to get me here. Okay. So everybody would say, oh, you have to get a mint condition one. I did not get a mint condition one. You're going to have to get one because, it's so old that everything's going to break, and you're going to have to make sure you spend a lot of money on one if you buy one used. And I didn't. I probably bought the cheapest Marauder that existed. And not just because I got the discount, but because it has cosmetic issues and not engine issues. So the cosmetic issues can all be fixed. So I got 2 new fenders. My dad actually had them and I got them with the sale. So these are things that maybe you wouldn't have known. Like if you would have asked this person about their Marauder and they would have say, oh, well, it's got cosmetic issues, but hey, I'm going to throw these fenders in on the deal. That's going to totally sweeten the deal for you, right? But you wouldn't know that until you ask them. You would just see this ad and say, oh, that Marauder's in really bad shape and that's why it's so cheap and it probably doesn't run either. And then you just shove that aside and you don't consider that anymore. Okay, so those are all the things that held me back from not getting what I wanted. And then realizing I really wanted it got me what I wanted because I really, really wanted it. And once I realized that I wanted it, I started putting action into the thought. Just me searching on Craigslist for something I knew I wasn't going to buy. That's the action. You continuously asking about it. You go to work and you're at lunch with your friends and you talk about what you want. You want this car. I mean, it's going to come up, and you bringing this up into conversation all the time is kind of reaffirming what you want. Okay. So rule number 1, I learned that I wasn't talking about what I wanted enough. And then rule number 2 was that I wasn't putting any action into inquiring about how I could possibly do this. Okay. So, a lot of things in your life, you're going to figure, well, how did I get what I wanted? And why don't I want something else that bad? Right? That's you're going to have to figure that out yourself. Okay. So example number 2 of we're never going to do it, it's never going to happen, is my dog. It sounds crazy, but dachshunds, I have a mini dachshund. And mini dachshunds are really expensive dogs. And we thought to ourselves, we're trying to save for a wedding. We're not going to be able to afford this dog. We've always wanted one. And now we're ready for a dog. We don't really have a yard that's big enough for a bigger dog. So we're really interested in a smaller dog. And we just love dachshunds. We think they're so cute. And we're ready to get a dog. Can't afford it. But I kept searching. And I kept talking about it and I kept looking online. And eventually I found a rescue dog for $300 donation. Okay. You donated money to the rescue and then you were given a dog in a trial period. And it was great because we were even in a trial period. So it wasn't like a permanent thing. We could have called them and said, pick this dog up. He's crazy. But eventually all the craziness subsided and now we have our wonderful dog, Franklin. And Frankie the Dachshund has his own YouTube channel. If you haven't checked it out, Frankie the Dachshund. There's other Frankie the Dachshund YouTube channels out there, but mine is the most recent. So if you see really old videos popping up, those are not me. But Frankie the Dachshund YouTube channel is because I wanted to showcase that love and stability and routine can totally change a dog's behavior. His behavior was pretty aggressive at first, and now he's. And when I say aggressive, I mean he was scared. He was scared because he was abused. So if you tried to go touch him, he was scared. He'd growl you and run away and hide. Now he lets me approach him and rolls over and he's kind and loving and he has a ton of personality. And for a steal deal of $300, I got the dog that I wanted, that everybody said I wasn't going to be able to afford and I wasn't going to be able to do it and it would be too expensive. And okay. Everybody is going to talk you out of everything you want. They're going to give you a million reasons why they didn't do it. And this is what you need to focus on, why they aren't doing it. That's all they're telling you. When they said, this is why this isn't going to work, this is why they didn't do it. That is not why you won't do it. Okay, things are going to happen. Every rose has its thorn. You are going to go through things that people are going to tell you shouldn't have done. You are going to get the slap in the face later that says, I told you so. Keep doing it anyway. Don't let them tell you no. Keep talking about it. Keep going for it. Keep annoying people about it. Eventually, somebody's going to pipe up and say, I can help you with that. And that is the best advice I can ever give you from things that I've done in my life. And now I am going to apply this same advice to figuring out why I can't get these other things that I want. And eventually, they're going to be really great examples to show you because I'm going to keep talking about it and I'm going to keep doing it. And I'm going to keep searching it and I'm going to keep punching it in and keep taking phone calls and keep asking friends about it and bringing it up in light conversation. And eventually I'm going to get that. So I hope that this helps you. I had two really great examples. They might not be huge, but you can apply this towards anything. If you're looking for a new house, you don't have the money, then Google search how to buy a house without money. Okay. Start somewhere. Please do it for yourself. Okay. So I hope that you do. And again, always, like I say every time, let me know in the comments below. And if you feel embarrassed, private message me, Catherine at itcouldbenew.com. Also, I want to make an announcement that I do have the PaleoSchmaleoFoodCompany.com up and running. And if you want to visit that, I'd really appreciate you sharing it. And if anybody needs some help writing some articles and blogs, I am available for hire and I only charge per article, not per word. So hit me up, Catherine at itcouldbenew.com, or you can go to my website, thepaleoschmaleofoodcompany.com. You can hit the contact button and it'll get right to my email. So thanks a lot, guys. And I hope that you go get what you want and start talking about it.